our 4th warehouse, and this one is 8,000 square feet. And we'll talk about that here in a sec. There we go. Okay. So we've got 7 stagers who work for me, and some of them have their own businesses and they work for me, and then they bring work in, projects in. So I rent to other stagers. So we've got a lot of furniture that we can move about and come in and out. So I welcome any stagers who want to work with us. We've got 3 warehouse technicians to move our furniture. We own a 20-foot box truck, and like I said, we've got an 8,000 square foot warehouse, and it's got all sorts of different styles of furniture and different price points of furniture. So if you need a mid-mod property staged, or a contemporary, rustic, industrial, transitional, whatever, we can take care of you with that. But specifically for you investors, you have all different price points of properties. You could have, your sweet spot could be $300,000, $400,000, but you could also jump in and get a little more in the luxury market and get $600,000. We had a dear friend of ours who's an investor. We've worked with him several times, and he just did, what was it, a 1.4 in McDonough. And it sold very quickly. He was very excited about that, and we staged, was it 27 spaces in there? So it was just 1 bedroom though. There were that many different spaces. We've got pictures of that in here, so we'll talk about that. He likes to have the odd properties. We've done some crazy stuff for him. But it doesn't matter what your price point is, we can take care of you. It doesn't matter what style, we can take care of you. So what is home staging? It's preparing a home for sale. So you guys, being the investor, you start it by rehabbing it. Whether you take out a wall or just do cosmetic and paint the walls. Change the carpet, whatever it needs. But we come in and bring the furniture in, and like Pete said, we can help the buyer understand the functionality of the spaces and the sizes of the spaces. And you can go into a decent sized master bedroom or even a secondary bedroom. Is a bed going to really fit in here? And we can bring that queen size bed in there in a secondary bedroom, and voila, there we go. Bedside tables, a chest, and hopefully a chair or some kind of seating, a bench or something. But it defines the spaces. And when you've got your open floor plans, you go in and knock those walls out and create a beautiful floor plan. That's when the buyers get the most confused, because you've got dining, living, kitchen, maybe even a seating area somewhere else. They have no idea what to do with that space. That's very pertinent to get those spaces staged, because we define them. We create your dining room furniture, and a rug helps create that foundation of those spaces. Living room, everything that goes in those. So we can help you tell the buyers what to do there. So when you start your flipping, you do your rehab, we come in and we help you merchandise that product that you're now selling. So we're the icing on the cake. The property's the cake, and then we're the icing. So we make it, jazz it up, and look fantastic. So the furniture gives the buyer at least one furniture floor plan layout. You could put that sofa in 4 different places in one room, but we can provide at least one, especially in those open floor plans. So, can you see?
I can see very well.
So, bringing in furniture is important on so many levels for you, so we can help you. But the biggest thing that is a benefit to you guys is the buyer can sit on something, visualize themselves in that space. So most buyers, when they go through a property, they're there for what, 10 minutes? Realtors, 10 minutes? So you want them to stay there longer. So if they've got something to sit on, they can, oh, this fireplace is beautiful. Oh, look, honey, they have a chair just like ours. We can bring that chair there. Or sit at the dining room table and write that contract. So furniture is very important. So our services. Blake is going to hand out these to you and gives you a little more information in front of you. But for your fix and flips or even your new construction, we rent by the month. Most stagers rent 2 months or 3 months at a time. You have to pay it all up front, whether you use it or not. In 22 years, I've never done that plan. My business plan has always been 1 month at a time. You only pay for what you use. So if it rolls into a second month of partial days, 5 days or 21 days, you only pay for those. I prorate that. So I create a daily rate by your rental amount and multiply it by the days that you have it. So you only pay for the days that you need the furniture. So with that, a furniture rental should have taxes paid. Some stagers try to get around that, but it's a rental, and all rentals, no matter what the product is, should be taxed. So the next month that you pay, it's only the rental amount with your taxes on top of that, and that's obviously determined by your zip code, your county, or whatever. So we do a lot of new construction. We love to do new construction because it's always so nice and clean, and fix and flips are usually nice and clean too, unless they just do some basic little cosmetic things. But another way we can help you, the investor, is design services. 2 of us of the 7, or rather of the 8, counting me, are interior designers. So we can help you as much or as little as you need. If you hire us, we can come in and when you go to look at the property and help you determine what you can or should do to this property to rehab it. Take out that wall, bust this open. We need to make this open. Move this laundry room upstairs, or break this wall out and make the master bathroom bigger. So we can help you do that. But the cosmetic part of that, we can also help you with, is helping you with paint colors, flooring, countertops, cabinets, light fixtures, plumbing fixtures, all that sort of thing. We do that a lot, so we can certainly help you with that if you need any help. So the next one is STRs and MTRs and co-living. STRs are short-term rentals, or some people say Airbnbs, but that's obviously the platform in which they are rented. And MTRs are mid-term rentals. And then you can have an LTR, which is long-term rentals. So who does any of that in here? Excellent, so you know what I'm talking about. So STRs are 30 days or lower. A guest comes in and rents your place for less than 30 days. A midterm is 30 days to a year, and long-term is a year and above. So if you guys are doing anything like that and you need help, we can help you get the furniture. We can buy the furniture for you, and we're turnkey service with this. So get all the furniture, not just the furniture, artwork, accessories, and rugs, but we also do all your linens for the beds, all the towels in the bathrooms, and all of the kitchen essentials. So if you've got a 3-bedroom and it sleeps 6, you want to have enough towels for all of those guests. And my recommendation is 2 bath towels, 1 hand towel, and 1 washcloth per guest. And no matter how long they're staying, because women like to put their hair up in a towel, but if they're there for midterms, you'll have it. It's a little different, but that's for short term. And the key thing for, for the short term rentals and getting your guests covered or cared for. If you have a sleep 6, and that's the max you're gonna take in that STR, then you need to have enough dishes and glasses and silverware for those folks. And I will recommend at minimum 12 for a sleep 6 unit. That way they can eat at least 2 meals without having to wash dishes. Don't be chintzy on that, because you're gonna get a low rating on that. And 2, not just your kitchen essentials, but your seating. Your dining table needs to have 6 chairs at it, to where they can sit and eat comfortably. And in the living room, you've gotta have seating for 6. And that's for whatever the amount is. We also do a refresh for people if you've got one set up already, and you've got some faded bedding or some of your sofas are stained or something. You want us to come in and refresh it and figure out what we need to get changed out to get it a better looking unit. We can do that. And I did that for a client not long ago, and it was the craziest house I've ever seen. It slept 10, but it had 1 bathroom. One bathroom. And so in my refresh evaluation, I noticed they only had 5 plates.
Sorry.
They had 6 wine glasses, but 5 plates, and I don't know, 4 forks. I don't know, it was crazy. So things had gotten broken, stolen, thrown away by accident, whatever, over the years. And so we had to replenish that and get it to where everybody could at least eat without having to bring in paper towels, paper plates and stuff. And they didn't have enough, well, in my opinion, didn't have enough bathrooms. But I recommended to take out the 2 sleeper sofas, to at least just have 6 then, but they wanted to have the max they could get. So we refreshed as much as we could. But everything worked out fine, I guess, so they're good. Anybody have questions on the term rentals of any flavor there with the furniture? We'll buy it, we'll receive everything, and get it ready to send to you, not to send to you, but to install. We've got some special pricing for that, 3 different levels of pricing on all of them. When we send you the contract, it'll be a 50% deposit up front, then we'll get started. We'll start ordering everything. If you want to have a little bit of a budget, we can take some things out of our inventory versus brand new pieces of furniture. But nonetheless, we'll order everything in. And then option 1 pricing would be we get everything installed, and then the balance of that 50% is then paid at that time. Option 2 is where you take that 50% balance and we split it into 6 months rental for you guys. So y'all can pay that balance of 50% for 6 months. That'll give you time to get that unit up and running and get some revenue flowing and be paying on that furniture as you go along. Option 3 is breaking that 50% balance into 12 months payments for you. So the same kind of scenario, but in 12 months. I would recommend if it's a big bed and head, 5-bedroom or something, I would recommend the 12 months. But if it's a smaller, like a 2-2 or something, you could probably manage the 6 months. But we can do whichever route you want to take with that. No worries there.
I got a question.
Yes.
This is a short-term rental. The owner is still purchasing all the furniture, right? There's no provision that y'all have for just renting everything in there, and then we can come in and say, this couch just needs to be changed out or something like that?
That'd be incredibly expensive for you. Be happy to
That's
do
okay.
that, mind you, but I don't think you want to do that. But yeah, it would be way too expensive for you to do that. Maybe more than a purchase. Only on that scenario, because we would have to then replace everything. So we have to put it into our budget to charge you for the rental enough for those replacements as they go along. So buying it for you would be much more costly. Any other questions for those? Does anybody do co-living? Do y'all know what that is?
That's good.
Exactly, right. So we can do the same thing with that as we do with the term rentals. So we'll buy it all for you, install it, same kind of payment plans for you, just less seating, more bedrooms and stuff. So, okay, anything else on that? All right, what we got next? Model homes. We do model homes. If any of you do building like that, we've got a couple model that we're working on for Brock built homes right now. So we've got some new communities up in Alpharetta in the Gathering. You know, that cool, it's not Avalon, but it's close by. But yeah, we do model homes, and we can do, those are rentals for that. If you want to buy it, if you do this, if you want to buy it, we can certainly purchase it for you and have it a purchase turnkey for that. But most of the time, builders don't want to keep it because once the community sells out, what do you do with the furniture? So we move it to another one, but we can also move it to another one with the rental part. So, and with that, we can do creative rental time for you. Terms can be 3 months, 6 months. We've done as long as 3 years. So that was a giant community. But model homes, model apartments, model condos, we can do all that. So I'm going to jump down to the package pricing. So you've got the top page. This was designed for investors just like yourself. This can be something that you can utilize as long as it fits into the category here. Specific styles of furniture like mid-mod or contemporary or anything like that don't fit well into the package pricing program. Just your regular transitional style furniture works best. Mainly because mid-mod or modern furniture is a little more expensive. But 3-room package is your living, dining, and your master. And we break this into a premium and a platinum pricing. Premium is smaller rooms, less furniture, and the lower price point, $300,000, $400,000. Any price point of the property can choose any of these. It doesn't matter to me, but this is kind of a guideline to help you what works best for you. The platinum is a little bigger rooms. Let's say the premium is 1,200 square foot house versus 2,200 square foot house, 2,200. But the platinum is bigger rooms, king bed versus a queen bed, sofa, love seat, and a couple chairs versus a sofa and 2 chairs for the premium. So with this, it's a package pricing of $1,750 for the premium or $2,200, and that's for the first month. And if it rolls into a second month, you pay the rental amount at the bottom, $700 versus or $900 for the platinum. Okay, and again, I will prorate that, and we'll create your daily rate if it's there for 2 days, 5 days, 20 days, whatever it is. So we'll create that for you. And then the second package is the 5-room package. So we'll do the same, living, dining, and master, but then you can add on, you can pick 2 of the office, breakfast area, or a sunroom. So another seating area with a sunroom, an office, and then another dining space. So for the 5-room, you can pick 2 of those. Doesn't matter which kind or which one. And then it fits under the same style category as the 3-bedroom. Any questions on that? I think you guys would really take advantage of that. That's going to be good for you guys. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to jump up to leasing properties for Murphy Harp's Children's Center. This is something that I've kind of partnered with, and Dabney here, my friend, is working with me doing that. Murphy Harps is an organization that houses and cares for children who are in the foster care system. And they are children who are difficult to place. So they have been contacted by the state and all the counties in the state of Georgia pleading for help. And they have more children than there are homes around the state to house. So help me out, Dabney, with the kids. Are there 200 kids that are sitting in, that are of age, meaning under 18, who are in either hotels or mental health facilities? And there is no foster home or foster center to go to. So
Right,
there
that's
are
correct.
200?
Right, it's over 200, so like 203 to 208 children that are misplaced and are placed in inappropriate places for them to help them grow it and become, what we consider normal, right? But in their minds, it's a small step for them. So the facilities provide that service for them, and there's a strong need for housing for them to be in something as normal as possible. Normal as possible.
So what I,
in Georgia right
Over 200
over 200.
now, in a hotel.
that are in hotels
Well, across
and
the
other
whole
facilities
state.
that are not appropriate for children. Yeah, that are not.
At a hotel, right. So the reason why I'm presenting this to you guys is, we've created this plan, this program. They created it and we're trying to implement it and help them out. So those of you who have long-term rental homes or homes that are short-term rentals, or just you don't know what you're going to do with it, Murphy Harp's organization would lease that property from you and bring in children as well as a house manager, and you would get paid by the state. Guaranteed money there as a long-term rental. And they are starting out with, the program starts with a 3-year lease. So if any of you are interested in doing anything like that, talk to Dabney or myself. These folks are in dire need of people like you guys who would be interested in helping out. Those that have the short-term rentals and it's already furnished, fantastic, that's ideal. But I'm collecting furniture with clients that we see day to day, and but that's dribbling in. It's not it's helpful, but it's we need the furnished ones if at all possible. But I would challenge you guys to check into that, and that's Harps is spelled like that. Look them up on Google them and see they've been in business for 101 years. Two beautiful women started it 100 years ago, and it's grown into what the facility is today. They're in Cedartown is the main campus, and they house 60 or so, 67 I believe,
Yes.
children there. So they're flooding all over the place. So they're needing folks to jump in and help. Yes, ma'am.
What were their regulations about number of children per bedroom? be?
1 per bedroom, 4
Okay.
per house. So they want 5-bedroom homes, or ideal. So each kid has their own home and then the manager.
What's the thing in Cedartown?
It's their main campus where they have,
It's Murphy Hart main campus?
yes,
And that's
Murphy
what it's
Harps.
called, Murphy Hart.
Yes, Murphy Harps, and that's where they have the 60-plus kids there. They even have a school system on campus, and those kids go to school there.
Okay, that's good.
What kind of thing is it? Is it private company?
Yes, it's a nonprofit.
Nonprofit?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes. So these children are, these children are of age children that we're talking about. That's called the Evolve program. they have another program that they're starting, and it's the transitional housing. So all these kids who have mental issues grow up. And so they gotta go somewhere. They've gotta have somewhere to go. And so they're creating these housing for the aged out children. And those can stay more on their own. They don't need someone in the home with them. They're trying to get one bedroom apartments, or even a lot of old motels were converted into short-term rentals. Those are ideal for this transitional housing. But most of these children will never be able to live on their own because of their experience in their lives. So they are trying to keep them off the streets. Because some of them are going, well, I'm 18, I'm old enough, I can go live on my own. So they walk off and they don't know what to do or where to go, and then they're homeless. So they need help with that.
So what sort of age ranges are we talking about? I know the once they get to a certain, over 18, obviously, I don't know.
So 18 to 24 is the transitional housing group. But again, some of these kids will be there forever because they will never be able to live on their own. They need to have a house manager kind of deal, someone close by.
Assisted living, basically.
Assisted living?
It's basically assisted living, like the seniors do. They have their own apartments, but there's someone on duty at all times.
Someone there, but
Yeah.
not necessarily in the same apartment that they're in.
Right.
But
They don't
close
live
by.
with them,
Right.
they supervise them
Yes, right.
Yeah.
on property.
They got their own bedroom down the hallway.
Yeah.
Lives there with,
Yes.
they go home.
In the Evolve program, the house manager is there. They have two for each property, and it's a 1 week on and 1 week off, and it's 24/7 for them. But wherever that house is, Dabney's working with one himself in Union City. There are 7 in Augusta, and we're working on some others in the Metro Atlanta area. So the Evolve program for the underage children, the manager is 1 week on and 1 week off, but it is 24/7. But they're in the local school systems there, if possible. So
Where's the highest need geographically in the state of Georgia? Is that something that you might be able to,
So there's different areas. What we'll do is we'll collect that information, provide it to the group, so that the group will know about it. But the needs come in waves, right? So they'll have a high need for Cal County for maybe 1 or 2 months because it's necessary. Then they'll get a fluctuation in another county, southern part of Georgia. So it fluctuates from county to county. It just depends on circumstance.
But they'll move those children to where the home is.
Oh, okay.
So if that child is in Brunswick and there's no housing for them, they'll move them up to where there is housing.
That's correct.
So I'm assuming some of those homes would need to be handicap equipped.
They haven't talked about that.
No, not exactly. There is probably a need for it, but the need is not as great as we might think. When we spoke about it, no one ever brought that up. So we would make the house, the most important things are fire and safety, as far as, your standard IBC codes and, IRC codes, just standard fire and safety, with the homes, as far as egress and, smoke and COs and all that good stuff, and fire extinguishers and, exit plans. So that would be the biggest thing that they're focused on, making sure the house is safe. Able to pass inspection, of course, as far as no broken windows, no windows that are, shut and close on their own, and, the doors operate properly, the interior doors operate properly, and things of that nature. So it's just standard, like if you were doing an Inspire certification, or REIA, inspection, it's the same process with that.
With the Evolve program, the younger kids, they would be taking the bus to the schools. In the transitional program, they want it to be on transit line because they can take the bus or the train to their job. They'll have a part-time job somewhere, Walmart or McDonald's or something, and Publix or something like that. And so they like for the transitional housing, which are more on their own in that public transit situation.
What's the youngest children that they take?
Well, I would imagine they're all sorts of ages, but Cedar Town itself, it's middle school, right?
Yeah, so the younger students and younger residents would be at Cedar Town. They like to keep them there and then grow them out of that into the transitional programs that go, that move forward from there. So it would be, the younger would be basically on campus. The older ones, anywhere from 14 all the way up to 24, would be in the residential housing.
Joe, I think you had something.
Well, you answered my question. I was wondering if they do like the hotels.
Yes.
Yes, really.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
They would love that. They would love that, yeah.
What about pets? They're not allowed to have pets?
No.
No dogs?
No.
I'm thinking they're just trying to make it a day. Yeah.
Especially the special needs kids, the dogs would be dramatically beneficial.
Well, we're not going that far.
Nobody has a point though. Do you have children who have like epileptic dog, like service dogs and things like that? So if you're gonna rent your home out to this
No.
group, do they not come, some of them come with that?
So what they have is, when they want to do that, they do have a small farm there where they have horses. And they
But they're
allow,
therapy horses.
right, they're therapy horses, and they allow that to be, for therapy for that purpose. But they don't allow it in the residential homes.
Darlene, Joe?
How difficult is it to get approved? I mean, do they look at you, do you have to have a company, your house? Obviously, the house sounds like HUD standards, FHA standards, pass an inspection.
Murphy Harps is not picky, as it were. They just have things that they need to meet as far 5 bedrooms, 2 baths, 3 baths. But it doesn't matter if it's a ranch, 2-story, doesn't matter.
And your money will come from them as an individual house?
The rent will come from Murphy Harps, which they are subsidized by the state. They have all those grants and programs and whatever. And they did say they will not be cut because you
Yeah,
don't want
you don't,
a 12-year-old
children,
running
yeah,
around on the street.
you don't mess with
What is the
children.
average rent for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house?
$2,500 to $3,000.
But it has to be a minimum of 5 bedrooms?
What?
That's not real. That's the real.
Not a grant.
It's not the grant, it's rental from, yeah. You'll get paid from Murphy Harps.
So basically, you're buying the property, right, on your own financing, right? And then you just lease it or whatever.
Yes, so if you had a property that's a long-term rental, and your tenant moves out, and you would be interested in having this with Murphy Harps, Murphy Harps as an organization would sign the lease.
Does it have to be, did somebody say 5 bedrooms?
Yes. 5 bedrooms.
So it can be 3 bedrooms, if it's a ranch with a basement, it can be 3 bedrooms on top, 2 in the basement, converted into the standard bedroom, so that will work as well.
What about 5, 6, 10 bedrooms?
That
No.
works even better.
No, they max out.
Because there's
The
only
Evolve
4 kids,
program
right?
is maxed out with
Yeah.
4.
Not the Evolve
What
program,
about
but the
the-
one right prior to the
elderly?
Evolve program.
Evolve is the younger group.
Okay.
Transitional is the older group.
Gotcha.
Yep. So the Evolve can only do 4
What about the open?
students. Children. The older group, if it's a multi-unit, multi-family, they could put 20, 30 kids in there.
So it can it look like a pad split? And be 5 bedrooms outside?
No. Unless there's a living space and a dining space. With most pad split areas, there is not a living room or a dining room.
There's
So,
no common area.
yeah, they need that common area for it, yeah.
What percentage of the elderly, the transitional
Transition.
folks, do drive?
doubt that they would be able to have a car financially. Didn't talk about that. They do want it on the transportation lines, but they would be of age to have a driver's license, but don't know that they would have that.
Joe had a question.
Joe.
Okay. Would they be interested in partnering with us, because I've got a grant writer? We could go for grants to buy the properties.
See Dabney.
Let's chat about that, Joe, Dabney, and
Okay.
it's great. Thank you, Joe.
Who pays utilities?
They do.
They pay them outside of that rental amount?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
They have to.
If they have to be on transportation lines, that limits them to certain cities of Georgia, right?
Yes, for the transitional housing,
Consider that an
correct, yes.
But for the younger kids, they go to local schools, so.
Yeah, the younger kids can be anywhere, housing anywhere. Mhm. Anything else with that? Thank you so much for
That's
your
it.
questions and your consideration for that. It's
For the little youngins.
it's horrible. It's a horrible situation.
And, most rentals, you know, hey, it's $50, $100 or less, take care of it, don't call us. Would they be taken care of, you know, light bulbs going out,
Maintenance.
minor repairs?
I don't know what you think.
So I did talk to Scott about that, so
Okay.
that is based on, you can come to an agreement, you know, for the contract. You know, that would be a variable that you would put in the contract and say that, you know, what you just said, anything dollar value, 100 or less, Workdrop's responsible for. Anything greater than that, that's not self-induced, of course, because anything that's self-induced, they do take care of their own stuff. If a child unfortunately puts a hole in the wall, they do the repair, they do the painting corner to corner, we've had that discussion. They will take care of that stuff and they're responsible for the upkeep of the property. The exterior part of it would be responsible, of course, for the owner as far as, you know, cutting the grass and things of that nature.
Did we pay the kids to cut the grass?
Absolutely.
That's a joke question.
Which is a great idea.
Yeah, actually,
Push a lawnmower in a straight line.
Yeah, go.
Okay, anything else? So if y'all have other questions, Dabney or myself can hopefully answer those. If not, we can get you in touch with Scott and Cindy. And but thank you, Joe. Let's see what we can do then. Appreciate it. So let's circle back around to home staging.
Oh, we're not done?
We're not done. We're not done. So this is Blake's part.
All right, I'm gonna let Arow catch her breath for a little bit. We went around talking about what it actually is that we do, but here's how it can help all of you guys. It helps your listing stand out. The better the photo, the more attractive it is to click on it, the more people want to check it out. It just enhances your marketability. Minimizes your renovation risk. Instead of over renovating, we can come in and maybe make an area look a little bit different with our designers selecting the appropriate furniture. You may not have to spend as much money tearing down a wall or something like that, and just highlights what's already there in the home. All it can do is make you look better, making your portfolio look better, faster sales, the sales being higher than listed and things like that, and there's lots of tax deduction benefits as well, but also, like I wrote up there, consult your tax professional on that one. 82% of buyers, agents reported that staging helped their clients better visualize the property as a future home. Like Arow was talking about earlier, it helps just the customer visualize the space a lot better and things like that. 15% more than non-staged homes if you stage your home. Staged homes in Atlanta spend 73% less time on the market. And potential returns on investment ranges from 1 to 5% in sale price, which is great for you. And average cost is about $2,000 to $4,000, but that is just a small investment for a really large return as far as like all those benefits we just went through. Did you want to add anything?
So on the benefits of staging the home is always less than your first price reduction. So on a $300,000 property and it hasn't sold in a month, what would you do? Drop the price? How much? What's the average for that? $20,000.
On a percentage basis?
5%.
What did
We do 10,000.
So
We do
10,000?
increments, right, so if we're at if we're 300,000, we'll go to 289.9. If we're at 279.9, we might go to 274.9, and then 269.9, so
Got it.
10,000 when you're close to 300, as you get lower, we might go 5,000.
So tell me what makes more sense. Spend a little, make the house look fantastic, get awesome photos on the FMLS listings, and have it very interesting looking, because when you're looking at vacant rooms, what is that room? The corner is super, but what is it? So the staging will define that space. So on the average, well, what you saw over here, where it went, the paperwork, the package pricing, $2,200 is less than $10,000 on your first price reduction. Just, that's a simple dollars and cents there. So these are some fun photos of some projects we've done here lately. This was a townhouse in Buckhead, and it was a mid-mod style, so you'll see some really cool pieces in there.
Not saying you need to or anything, but do you do virtual staging?
We do not. We do not.
Wow, just tell me. We do not.
Okay.
We do not. So that was the living room, that space, and then that's the bedroom. Fun little.
And that's a house for sale.
Yes. And we do outdoor spaces. We prefer to do covered, but we can do it non-cushioned in the uncovered, especially in the spring in Atlanta. So this was a fun house. Got all sorts of crazy furniture in here.
Is that premium or platinum?
Neither. This was not in the package program. This was, they converted the basement area to the master suite. So as you can see, the header and the column, that was a wall. And so that's a nice little sitting room for the master.
That's a
The
big
bathroom.
room.
Sorry?
Pretty big room.
It was,
Yes,
it
it's
was
huge.
very large. It was very large.
That's the perfect type of room to stay.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You're right. You're right,
One
Darren.
idea.
So this was just a little corner breakfast area. These diagonal corner fireplaces, don't do them, please, I beg you. They're so difficult to work with. In this case, we had to turn everything at the angle toward the fireplace and do the rug with the fireplace because it wouldn't fit any other way. If we had turned the sofa on this side facing that way, the rug was in the hearth and it was a mess. So we had to make it work this way. So we had to, when we go to preview the property, we measure to make sure we bring the right size of furniture and appropriate style. But these, that's a feature that's on the house. It's not going anywhere. So we had to make it work.
That bed mod right there?
It was modern, yeah. So I don't remember if this was part of that house or not, but they had a nice window seat in the master here, and so we accentuated that space. They did not have a cushion custom made for that or anything that they left, so we accentuated it with just some throw pillows, be fun little reading nook or something. Playing with your grandkids. And this was a cute little bathroom in Smyrna. And that was the living room. They did not knock down all the walls. So this was your traditional little ranch. And this is Decatur, I believe. And they did bust out this part of the wall, which made it awkward to place the furniture. So we had to figure out how to make that work. We get challenged a lot with some of the rehabs. so we've got to figure out how to make it work and do the furniture placement. So one thing that I did not say to you guys, a part of the design services, if you're rehabbing a house and you get an architect to come in and do a plan before you do anything to the house, I beg you, please let me see the floor plans. Let me see the architect's plans, because I can go in and look at those and say, that's not gonna work, your door needs to come out, your island is too big, you can't walk through, and with a dining room, we had that issue in Smyrna. As a matter of fact, the island was, I don't know, 7 feet wide this way, but 51 inches this way. So they had the base cabinets facing the other part of the kitchen, another set of cabinets underneath, and then the overhang. And they had built a master suite onto the back. It was a 2-1 originally, so they made it a 3-2. And so the only way to get to the new construction in the back was through this one path, and they ate up all the dining space with the island, and so we had to put in a 30 by 48 inch table, a dining table. Exactly. So they ate up all that traffic path. So she had another one, she was coming, that was coming up, and she sent me the floor plans, and I said, do not make your island that big. Just make it 36 inches, and then we'll have enough room for a dining table.
But when you was talking about coming out with us, there's a diana, or something. But you don't go as far as to reframe everything. Do you have anything like the software that,
No, we don't. No, we don't have the architect can do that, I guess. But understanding load bearing and non-load bearing and stuff.
just touch base with you before we finalize that?
Right. Yeah. The architect's plans. Yeah. I've seen many drawings that have the doors hinging on the wrong side, and you open up and you walk into a wall, and you go, really? Come on. Architects are brilliant, but they don't know floor plans or furniture placement or anything like that. So this is that giant house in McDonough that was the investor, 1.4 or whatever, one of the sitting areas, the formal living room, formal dining room. It had a really cool gigantic spiral staircase. It was phenomenal. Everything was oval and round. That was the breakfast area. And go back one. Can you do that? One thing that we do is when you have, what do you do with this kind of a thing? In this breakfast area, see the cabinets on the left side? We created a little coffee stand, a coffee area for that space. So, they were great cabinets, but they were glass doors. So you got to put something there to show what's back there. So we had a fun little coffee area. And then the other cabinets that were there, you've got a butler's pantry on the left side and a bar on the right side. So, for Joe's beer. So we had and all these are glass doors, so we had to put something inside there. And this is then on the other side of the fireplace, which is another seating area. And then the master. It's a beautiful master, open, all the windows were fantastic, nice and big.
Is the house round or something?
It had a lot of oval, and a lot of curves, a lot of curves.
Is that a new rebuild, or is that a new build, or is that a reconstruct? Rehab. Okay.
And this is the basement, the lower level. This was the media area, so we have a fun little setup here with a sectional and 2 big chairs, and we have, I don't know if you can see on the coffee table, popcorn bowls and Coca-Cola bottles and just fun stuff like that. And that's upstairs on the deck. The incredible pool. We've got some chaise lounges that we can add there. And this is under the deck. This is the patio. Again, 27 spaces, okay?
How much does this house cost?
1.4.
I sold that house and came and got it all.
How long did it take them to sell it? Yeah, really. 2 months?
2 months.
2 months for what?
1.4.
For
It was at
1.4.
Eagles Landing in
months.
McDonald.
Oh, okay.
After we staged 2 months.
How long before y'all staged it? Was it
they-
on the
He
market?
knows,
Oh,
he knows very
you're-
well not to
okay.
list it until it's staged. Yeah.
Okay.
So, it was, I don't know how long it took. They photographs were what, the next day or something.
Yeah, they were the next day.
Took 2 days for the photographer to finish the house. There were so many rooms, but.
Sure, he had to find his way out.
Yeah, exactly. Any questions? Yes, Joe?
Okay, if I've got one that's up for sale and my potential buyers want to keep all the furniture, can they buy it?
I have sold furniture before, but I may not can sell everything in the house. If it's some of our cool retro mid-mod furniture that I cannot get, maybe not. But I could sell some of it. So let's always say yes. Let's talk to the stager.
If it's a renter, can they rent it?
We could talk about that. Sure. Maybe.
The great thing about going to the owner of the company.
What do you do with furniture that's kind of, we've had this a long time, it's either outdated, outstyled, or, it's got a little chip, we're just gonna.
Donate it to Murphy Harps.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. Last year, we donated $8,700 worth of furniture to their Evolve program. Yeah, so we're working pretty hard about
20
that.
book box truck worth
Yeah,
of furniture.
yeah. Sent some to Augusta
Mhm.
and some to the Cedartown, their campus in Cedartown. Yeah. So if y'all have anything yourself that you don't need anymore, doesn't have to be in style. It could be a little dirt, would want to clean it, but does not have to be in style. But they protect use anything. With all the houses that y'all are going to bring, and we're going to fill it with these little kids.
What's the turnaround time for your process?
So
Do you do it all in one day? Do you come back the day after it sells?
Oh, to
What's
to
the whole
stage it?
turnaround time?
So if you call me and say, I've got a property, we would like to have 2 weeks before you're ready to list. That'll get us there, preview the property, get the pricing paperwork done between us, and then we like to wait for the construction, not y'all wait for us to have an opening. So we want to be ready and have it on the books. Your estimated completion date is Thursday the 12th, so we'll come in on Friday the 13th. Not do that. That's Friday the 14th.
But you set it all up in one day?
Yes,
And you take it all out in one day?
absolutely. In most cases,
It's just a
where
couple hours
it's
of
2
process.
hours. Yeah, yeah. For the big one in McDonough, that was 4.5. We had,
To get all the
That's
furniture
all.
delivered in
we
and
had
set up?
we had 3 movers and
Okay.
3 stagers, and I popped in and took some video.
Did you have to get another truck?
Yes, that was a two-trucker, for sure. Two-trucker, we're fast. See, all of our work is done in the warehouse. We plan this out like crazy, especially a big one like that one, or any models or anything, or even the small ones. We know what we're getting into before we go there and stage it. We make all the selections in the warehouse, all the furniture, accessories, artwork, and rugs. We create the vignettes on the tabletops in the warehouse. Take a picture so we don't forget. Pack it up in the bin for the living room. Pack it up in the bin for the kitchen. And that bin for the kitchen goes to the kitchen. And you unpack the accessories there and you set it up. So we're super fast. And, you know, a smaller investor property, hour and a half. Hour and a half. So that's, once we're there, unload, pack our bubble up and put it in the bins and head out. And the destaging is quicker usually. So. And you can keep it as long as you want, the rental, yeah, the furniture. Yeah. Gotta pay. We do take credit cards, Venmo and Zelle. Anybody have any more questions about anything? Thank you so much for listening, and I appreciate it.